Hey guys, I'm Tyler Kopstock and welcome to my channel. I represent Frontline Academy and I'm a student under Eduardo Teta Rios. I'm a full-time Jiu-Jitsu athlete and instructor, and I created this page to share my techniques, training and Jiu-Jitsu journey with you. Feel free to like and subscribe, and welcome to the family. Us.
Hey guys, welcome to the beginner's class here, and this is kind of a temporary setting, as you can probably see. So we're setting up some mats. We're making a little bit of a studio here, so hopefully we'll get it all done soon enough. So bear with me with the quality and the light and all of that, but don't worry, it's gonna get better. So I have Lasse here today. Christian is behind the camera, so he's doing all the technical stuff today. And the topic for today is the double under. So we're gonna start off with passing in the double under. So if Lasse is here on the bottom. And first things first, right? You could look for different grips. And the entry depends a little bit on the scenario and what kind of style you like to play. If you're already a guy who likes to play on your knees, then of course you have to look for the moment where you're gonna pass in between the legs and stop here, right? Or start there. If you're here on top, you always look to de-hook and then come from above and dive in, right? Now, thinking about the grips, you can grab the pants, which works fine. But in my experience, if I can get the collars, it's much better. The reason is, if I'm grabbing his pants and I'm pulling him up from the ground, he can still stretch his neck back and create a really nice frame where when I try to push him, he just passes or slides backwards, right? So by grabbing his collar, I can pull him towards me. Now, if I try to stack him, it's much harder for him to push his neck to the ground and start rolling his shoulders backwards, okay? So this I prefer over this, but sometimes you have to take what you get, right? But anyways, so here I'm gonna grab with the inside of my thumb on the inside here and my four fingers on the outside here. So I'm gonna go tight, not too high, not too low, but you wanna have a little bit of suspense in the lapel here, okay? So I'm gonna choose a side where I'm gonna move my head to the other side and I'm gonna lift my leg on the other side here, okay? So now I'm gonna toss his leg over like this, okay? So there's a couple of things that can happen here. Now, if he goes to turtle, I can just leave this grip be and now let go of the one closest to me and cup and come tight to the side of his back here, okay? Classic turtle position. We've been working some attacks from here before. Nice and easy. So let's come back. Get my thumbs on the inside, four fingers outside. I'm gonna pull him tight to me here, okay? So I can choose a side here. You can also feel the moment when to do it, because a lot of the times they're looking to get their legs in. Exactly. So watch how when he stretches one side, that's usually the side I wanna toss over, okay? Because think of it this way. If he's loose, it's gonna be harder for me to toss him, but if he's really tightening his leg, he's following all the way, okay? We're gonna go a little bit back. So here, pulling him tight to me, I feel the moment where I can toss him over, and there we go, okay? If you wanna be super fancy, you just shoot this bottom leg in and look for the top hook straight away, okay? I pull his back to me, look for the seat belt, and there you have the back take as well, okay? For the big guys, I've never been able to do this, but if you're one of those guys, I really picked the wrong partner for this one. But if you want to, you could also do it like a deadlift kind of style, right? So you could always try to toss. Give me a second. Here, and bring him all the way over, and then it's gonna be a little bit more dynamic, but definitely a viable choice. You gotta be aware though, when you're standing, there's more space. They can pummel their legs in, and it's gonna be a little bit rougher to complete it, or at least stay as tight. Okay guys, so we're gonna go a little bit further here from the same position with the grip on the lapels. So I'm using Lasse here. Oh, nice and easy. So I already got the grips, and what I'm looking to do here is I want to bring his hips off the floor and get my knees underneath, okay? So from here, I'm starting in this position, okay? Now, watch how he's grabbing my sleeves here, okay? He's always gonna try to push and then try to create this distance where he can get his legs inside again, okay? I want to close the distance, so I'm always pulling, and I want to bring his shoulders or his neck off the floor by pulling him, okay? So now I'm going to walk in towards him, pushing with my knees like this, okay? I'm always pushing on his back here, okay? And I'm leaning backwards and pulling at the same time. So if Lasse tries to walk back with his shoulders, he's pretty stuck, okay? At no point do I want to come too high so his butt slides down and then I lose the position, okay? Nice and easy. On here, I got the grip, I'm pulling him to me, and I'm bringing his hips up so I can get my knees underneath, okay? So now, using my toes on the mat to push, okay? A little bit slippery here, but that's all good. So I'm gonna walk up and push his hips up here, okay? Now, from this position, there's a lot of possibilities, right? He can, of course, roll over his shoulder like we did before, and then I can go for the back take or just simple turtle control, okay? But what can also happen, I'm just gonna pull you here, is that he stays. He doesn't want to choose a side, and he stays in this position, okay? So first things first, I want to choose a side where I'm gonna staple my knee on top of his bicep, okay? So we're gonna keep it a little bit so you guys can see. So watch how if I try to reach further in, he's gonna push my hand away and make it hard for me, okay? So now I'm gonna use my knee here to staple his bicep, and now my hand is free, okay? This hand now goes deep and crosses over to the opposite collar here, okay? Nice and easy. Turn around. So once I'm here and I got the grip on the opposite collar, I'm always making sure his hips are up, okay? So to do that, I'm keeping my knee behind his hips there. So turn again, you guys can see. Here, I'm making sure that this knee is supporting his back, okay? So at no point am I letting him get his legs down or get his hip down towards me, right? Watch how Lasse is still gripping this hand, okay? This is a detail I picked up from Andre Galvao. He has a really nice thing where he goes with the hand over the wrist and pulls the hand underneath. Super nice. I can still pressure down, but now his arm is stuck underneath his back. I can go for the paper cut choke. Super nice and easy. Or if you just want to get the position, you can go for north-south. You can go for the north-south choke here as well, but keeping this is pretty easy once you have that one underneath. So from the beginning here again, grabbing the sleeves, or the lapels I mean. So here, I'm gonna bring his hips on top of my knees here, okay? Walking towards him, so he gets into this inverted position, okay? If he chooses a side roll, we're back into the same old position we just did, okay? If not, that's when I have to start working to staple my knee on one side here, okay? Looking for the collar on the opposite side, I can now look for his wrist if he's still gripping here. If he wasn't, I wouldn't, okay? But he's still gripping, so I'm gonna go for his wrist, hold it underneath, and here we're in for the choke, the north-south choke, or just maintaining the position to a nice side control, okay? One last time, let's do it from a different angle. Yes. Yes. Hey guys, welcome to another week here at the beginners class, and today we're going to go through some double under. So starting off with a very simple kind of pass here, and I'm using Lasse here today. Whoa. Boom, perfect. So here, double under. And first off, talking about a little bit about the entrance, it's not always that simple to get into the double under. Like if you're very into passing on your knees already, and most likely you're looking for a transition where you're stepping back and then moving in to the center line, right? If you're coming from the top here, what you're looking for is always to de-hook his legs, and then you want to make a really nice drop pretty fast here as well, okay? And in this scenario, I want to connect my hands over his belly here, okay? I always go for the gable grip. You can do a C-clamp grip, or you could even go further in on your arms if you can. But gable grip has worked for me in so many years, okay? So here, I'm going to walk so that I'm using my knees under his hips here, okay? This way, it's going to be harder for Lasse to stretch his legs and get his hips down to the floor, okay? Of course, he's going to stretch them at some point. And so I'm looking to time it a little bit, okay? So I'm going to turn my head to one side. I'm going to bring my shoulder forward and let his leg fall to the floor, okay? By saying letting it fall to the floor doesn't mean I'm going to throw it completely. I kind of want to control the scenario, so when he tosses his legs towards me, I'm going to go here, okay? So now there's a little bit of a transition where I can move up towards his back if he's going all the way for the turtle. Go turtle, go turtle. There, here, perfect. Or if he's coming back down a little bit, let's say I toss his legs. So now he's turning back in. I want to swim in and look for the side control, okay? Very simple variation, of course. There's many ways to defend it, and then it gets a little bit more complicated, but it's always good to know. So palm to palm, I'm bringing my knees underneath him here, okay? Very important. If my legs are far away, I'm not that strong to manipulate his legs here, okay? As soon as I can bring my base closer to Lasse, and Lasse is heavier than me, then here it's gonna be a lot easier for me to toss his legs over, okay? So I'm going to control it by moving my shoulder forward, okay? Here, you can look for his back. Boom, perfect. From this position, we've been working a couple of back takes, some different chokes from the front. Of course, if not, if he's fighting for getting back on his back here, I'm going to fight for the side control and now get my points, okay? So very nice and simple. Here, I'm going to pull him in like this. So from now, I'm going to push him over to the side. Of course, you're going to feel the moment where it fits and it doesn't, okay? If he's super loose with his legs, now this is a very common defense. He's going to grab my wrists here, and then he's going to be spaghetti with his legs. And so he's going to try to slip down like this, okay? So I kind of have to see that coming and feel like, okay, when is he stretching his legs and really being strong with his legs? Okay, nice. Here, boom, onto the back here, okay? Of course, from there, you can kind of set up a couple of different positions as well, okay? So nice and easy, you got in, palm to palm, and then working your way once you have your knees underneath as well, okay? Okay guys, so we're gonna go a little bit further here. So we're gonna go through kind of like an entrance from a reversal Riva. So this is one of the ways I like to pass a reversal Riva, especially in my blue belt days. I've used this quite a bit. So for those of you who haven't seen a reversal Riva before, this is often when he's deciding to hook on the inside of my thigh here, okay? A normal de la Riva is when he's hooking the outside leg here, okay? But this time, he's going for the reverse de la Riva, nice and easy. He can either grab my ankle like this, which is making it easier, or he can hook in with his arm all the way like this. Still gonna be easy, but it's gonna be harder, and I have to do a little extra twisting, okay? So watch how he's gonna have his foot on my hip here. This is preventing me, okay. This is preventing me from getting closer to Lasse, okay? So first I have to remove his leg to maintain the distance to the side here, okay? If you feel like it's hard to push with the shin, here you can grab the toes as well, okay? So now I'm going to stretch my legs and step a little bit back. So basically, from this position, I'm going to step back a little bit and stretch so that I de-hook his leg here, okay? When that happens, I can now swim in with this other hand, okay? Very important, guys. I'm going to dive down, but I don't want to dive in with this arm, okay? Now I'm going in for a free triangle for Lasse here, okay? I want to swim this arm under his thigh on the other side, okay? So watch how my leg is still trapped, okay? So I'm going to lift my heel and go onto my toe balls here underneath my foot. And I'm going to turn my knee in towards him, okay? So here, I'm going to drop in like this, okay? So from this position, I can start to establish the double under and get my grips together and then walk in just like we did earlier. Or you could try to use the momentum a little bit as you drop down. So from this position, I'm now going to push, remove this leg, stretch my leg back, get my hand underneath here, swim under on the other side. As I got both of my hands under, I'm going to drop down, okay? If I can go for the toss straight away and look for his back or the side control, okay? If not, let's say he managed to come back, I'll just look to connect my hands or at least establish some other kind of passing, okay? But now I'm not stuck in the reverse Delihi anymore. So that's a win. So here, oh man, turn it to the camera. Okay, so here, remove his leg, boom, stretch back, get my hand under, other side, here, okay? Just start tossing or just connecting my hands and getting tight, okay? Nice and easy, definitely underrated way of passing the reverse Riva.